Hey guys, this is the Dark Passenger here to review Psycho 2. I watched this film a few nights ago. It's the sequel to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It was directed by Richard Franklin. It came out in 1983. And it's 22 years later. He's released from a mental institution, and he basically comes home. He comes back home, he comes back to his motel, and he finds out that there's this other guy managing it now, and he basically ends up firing that guy. And when he gets out, he also gets a job at a diner, and there's this girl, Mary involved, and she basically just gets close to him, and later on he kind of starts going crazy again, and you find out that it's actually the sister of Marion, Lila. She's calling him, she's trying to make him crazy again so he would get committed again. And he came out, fine. He came out of the mental institution normal. I guess you could say that mother part of him was gone when he got released. So that's pretty much what this movie is about. We've got Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. There's Vera Miles as Lila Loomis, because she got married to Sam Loomis, the guy from the original Psycho that was involved with Marion, and Meg Tilly as Mary Loomis. Now this movie, it's good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as good or better than the original, but I still really enjoyed it. I mean, it was interesting to see how he was kind of going crazy again, how the mother part of him slowly was coming back, and that was just really crazy. And how it was just how that was coming back, and he was getting really affected by what Lila was doing to him. She was actually calling him, pretending to be his mother, and he was actually falling for it. He was talking to her as if she was his mother, but then he actually finds out that it was Lila, and he still doesn't believe it. So his psychiatrist takes him to his mother's grave and shows him that she's dead, and he seems to believe it, I guess. But then closer to the end of the movie, he just completely loses it. He kills Lila. I think that he killed her. It didn't really show, but I think it was him that killed her. And I'm just gonna talk about the ending of this movie. There's a spoiler for those of you who haven't seen this. So just say shut the review off here, turn it off here. We have, he finds out who his real mother is. It turns out that Norma Bates wasn't his real mother. His real mother shows up and basically tells him the story of how she couldn't take care of him, and she had to give him to her sister. How her sister adopted him, I guess. And then, after he heard that story and, he found out that it was his real mother, his, re- his real mother, he killed her just like he did with Norma, and he basically started keeping her up in Norma's room, and that was pretty fucked up. I mean, he poisoned her, he hit her over the head with a shovel, and then he just carried her up to Norma's room. And he started talking to her as if she was still alive, kind of talking both in his mother's voice and his own voice. So yeah, that was him going crazy. Like, that was him completely unhinged, completely psycho again. And that was probably the most creepiest scene in the film. And also earlier, before that, Mary ended up getting shot because, she kind of went crazy herself from living with Norman, because she was living with him. She had no place to stay, and he gave her a place to stay. But that was when he was still normal, when he was still alright. So yeah, this is a good movie. I'd recommend it if you're a fan of the original. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviews. Peace.